Thanks for watching WMTV 15 News at 5. I'm Mark McPherson. Before the Wisconsin Election Commission confirmed the 2024 general election results, they explained what happened to 117 votes in the Village of Birnamwood. WMTV's Cameron Kelly breaks down an error that happened on Election Day. Cameron.
Mark, the error was in Ward 2 in the Village of Birnamwood, Ward 1, which is located in Shawano County, and Ward 2 is located in Marathon County. A poll worker used a Ward 2 specific ballot for voters who live in Ward 1. 105 voters in Ward 1 were issued the wrong ballot. The error was discovered around 1 p.m. on Election Day. Poll workers contacted their respective county clerks and the Wisconsin Elections Commission. At that time, it was determined that 117 Ward 2 ballots had been cast, but 105 were incorrectly issued and 12 were correctly issued.
The Marathon County Board of Canvassers did count those votes cast by those 117 voters in the other contests on the ballot from Village of Birnamwood Ward 2, including the offices of President, U.S. Senator, Assembly District 87, and the statewide referendum question.
Now, the WEC says this was the only error identified by staff. Live in the studio, Cameron Kelly, WMTV 15 News.
Cameron, thank you. The 2024 election may be coming to an end, but there is another one coming up in February. The primary for the state Supreme Court election will be held February 18th, the general election April 1st. Liberal Supreme Court Justice Ann Walsh Bradley is not seeking re-election this year. She has been on the court since 1995. The election could change the majority that the court has, which is currently 4-3 liberal-leaning majority.